I've got a lot of work to do, so I won't be home until late again. Just do the usual, you know, fix yourself a little something, anything you want. Oh, and I left some money for you on the counter. Use it for whatever you like. Now, Dad won't be home until Tuesday. He says hi. Oh, and somebody told me you quit soccer. Is anything wrong? Well, just leave me a note. Love you. Bye.
We're here in Oklahoma City, the '93 Classic, the CBA All-Star Game. Jim Durham with Bill Musselman, and you're looking at Eric Musselman in that national huddle. And before the game, we had a chance to visit with Eric, and we asked him what it was going to be like sitting across the way, knowing that his dad was on the other side with being the critic.
It'll be the first time that he'll be doing something while the game's going on, so he won't be able to dish out all the advice he's been giving me over the last couple years when he hasn't been coaching. So I look forward to looking over and seeing him do something tonight instead of getting in the way of my coaching.
Well, you know what? When the game is over, you can get a tape and critique him.
Sounds good, Jim.
Bill. Turnabout is fair play, right?
Oh, I think Eric's after me.
I'll tell you, the apple didn't fall far from the tree, I'll tell you that.
Here we see some half-court trap. We saw Eric's club work on that at their shoot-around today. They come away with a turnover.
Jim and Frank, he coached in the CBA All-Star Game a couple years ago. He 1-3-1 trapped Mauro Panaggio. After the game, he told me Mauro was a little upset. He says, Dad, did I do something wrong? And I said, listen, if I'm coaching against you, you can use a hyperbolic, parabolic, transitional floating zone. I don't care what you use against me.
You know what? I'll tell you what. We sometimes think about the players, but what about the development coaches in this league? And like yourself, Bill, I mean, you did a great job in this league, and of course you took it right onto the NBA. Phil Jackson, I mean, and executives and everything else. And I think that the referees, you know, I think the development in this league sometimes of others than just players is sometimes lost.
Frank, I agree with you. Let me give you an example. I think the CBA officials that have moved up in the NBA do an outstanding job. Bob Delaney, the first game opening year when I was at Tampa Bay, 5 minutes in the game, I get thrown out of the ball game opening night. And it's Bob Delaney. And I'm going, who is this guy? But I gain to respect him. Bob Delaney is a very good official.
Yes, he is an outstanding official now in the NBA. So I think that the league has a greater scope when you think about the development of all the people, executives, certainly referees and coaches. And your son and Panaggio, listen, you know, Mauro Panaggio, the father of Panaggio, he was another outstanding coach for many years in this league. So it's interesting that two kids are going against each other now.
Mauro missed by a point of sitting over there coaching this team tonight.
He probably did it on purpose so the kid could do it.
He's got a better record now, but he didn't have it on the deadline day.
Well, I'll tell you, you know, Mauro Panaggio was a very good player. You know, he played at Canisius against Niagara many years ago, and then later at Rockport State. He was a great soccer player, a great baseball player, and a very, very good basketball player, and an excellent coach. And his son, fortunately, looks like the mother. All right? Because Mauro looks like a guy that should sell pizzas. I mean, you know. But Mauro was a great coach and a great guy. I played against him, in fact.
You know, the same can be said for Scott Layden.
Yes. Scott Layden, yeah, you're not kidding. I'll tell you, fortunately, he got his mother's looks. And his mother's appetite.
Yeah. This is Michael Smith, perfect in 3 free throw tries in the contest. And he runs it to 4. He's got 6, and it's a 3-point lead for the national team.
Bill, why isn't Michael Smith in the NBA? You look at his bills, you look at his credentials out of BYU. What is it, the difference between playing here in the NBA? You've been both places.
Well, I think it's matchups. I think, where do you play Michael Smith? If you play him at the small forward, he may get out quick. And if he plays power forward, he gets out physical probably. And you know, a guy like him, I would put him at the high post and use a high post center and take the opposing center. Some of the centers in the NBA wouldn't come out after him. I think you have to take his strengths and utilize that and kind of move him around like a game of chess and checkers, because all the players down here do have a weakness. They have strong points, and you have to utilize those strong points.
One of his strong points is an excellent passer.
Excellent passer, very good shooter. That's why I think in the high post that's one position that he might be able to play, because a lot of those real good centers won't even come out after him.
So a couple of the reasons might be that, hey, a kid could get with the wrong team, the wrong coach, he doesn't get a chance. Or maybe he lacks some of the skills. Some of these guys can't shoot for the NBA.
I think being at the right place at the right time.
sport. Ricky Green was in this league for 5 years. He comes with us, Bill. 2 years later, he's on the All-Star team.
He pushed the ball up the floor as quick as anybody in the league.
Yes, he did.
Pat Durham, by the way, with 12 points for the National. And if he'd have had some of those dunks in the dunking contest that he's had in this game, hey, I would have had the winner, my man. Here's Michael Smith.
Would have, should have.
Could have, right?
Michael Smith with a nice touch, nice soft touch. He's always been a good shooter.
And Durham again, he feels it. He's got the shorter Oliver, and Oliver ties him up.
You know what I like about this game also? I think they play a little harder in this game than they do in the NBA All-Star game.
Yeah, we were talking about that at the top of our telecast. Well, they got more at stake.
Yes, they do. That's right. Because you mentioned, you know, Jim, about a guy coming here and saying one of these scouts of all the teams that are represented, this is the one shot maybe to get a guy and you say, hey, I want to look at him again. I want to look at him next summer. You know, in the NBA All-Star game, you know, it's a little recreational. It's competitive, and they do their best thing. But I think we're seeing it at both ends. Pretty good defense, and the kids are working on the boards.
There's no question. That's a very accurate statement, Frank. I think the CBA players in this All-Star game, I think they pick it up on defensively. They know they're being looked at by so many NBA scouts. And the NBA is right. It's showtime at this NBA All-Star game.
And the two young coaches, one being your boy, they're working at it. Huh? They're out here. They're talking to the refs. They're pushing the kids. They're making, you know, I don't know if you do that in the All-Star game in the NBA.
Well, Eric's notebook was so thick, you need a wheelbarrow to bring it out here.
That was your roll one from Ashland, though. All right. He had 4,000 plays. I heard this. Bill had 4,000 plays in college. He used one.
43-37. The national team with the lead. The American team, time's a wasting on them. They've had a lot of turnovers. They lead the turnover statistic 12-3.
You know, Frank, Abe Lemons ran into me in an elevator one year when I was coaching college ball, and he said, hey, Bill, he says, you got any of those tricky plays for me? I need a few of your tricky plays.
Abe Lemons, this is his hometown, by the way. In fact, when I spoke at the dinner last night, I told him tonight you're not going to get Abe Lemons, but you're going to get his material.
And did we?
God, Abe's a character.
I'll tell you what,
I
Frank.
remember one time they asked me, they said, hey, Abe, you go do jogging? He says, no, I want to be sick when I die.
Tompkins splits the free throws, makes it a 5-point lead for the national team. Legler on the miss, and the American with a chance to get it down to 3.
Well, Legler played for the Jazz this year.
Oh, Strong move by Strong, and he'll go to the line going for a 3-point
I like
play.
Strong. I'll tell you one thing about Strong. He passes the eyeball test, doesn't he? He's got some build on him.
Here you go. Another look at it.
Eric said before the game, Frank, he's worried about containing him inside. You know, putbacks. Strong taking the ball to the basket very strong. Frank, I got to ask you a question. Remember, is it true about Abe Lemons when he coached he took a team to the NIT and his team was getting beat soundly, and halftime he went shirts and skins?
Yeah, he did. He did, you know, and I'll tell you what, Abe was the ultimate showman. And his team still lost, but he got a lot of publicity. He got asked back to the NIT for 3 more times. They didn't deserve to be there. You know where he is tonight? Or where he is today? Fishing with Bobby Knight. That's why he's not here. Had a fishing day with Bobby Knight. He was afraid to miss it.
I thought maybe he was watching tape of your routine from last night.
No, he's probably watching this game, but him and Bobby Knight went fishing this weekend, and there's something. You never turn Bobby down.
Legler's pass deflected. Winder with 7 to shoot. Now they get it to the guy with a hot hand, but Durham misses this one. But Neal going back inside. Ooh, some hook on a face-up move. Sebastian Neal.
Sebastian Neal, Sibby, and hometown favorite, huh?
Yeah.
Henry Bibby before the game was saying how much he likes this young man. He said he plays hard, taking the ball to the basket.
Washington missing badly. The Americans gets another. The American Conference with another crack at it though, and a score working inside to Oliver.
One thing, Coach, I'm really impressed with the conditioning of these guys.
Legler at the other end.
They really got some great-looking athletes. Good builds,
Excellent
run the floor.
Excellent physical condition.
That's got to be a credit to the coaches.
I think the coaches in this league, I think they really do a good job on conditioning.
I know one thing, Frank Layden. I didn't think any league in the country had a tougher travel schedule than the NBA until I saw a CBA schedule. Oh, yeah. My goodness. I mean, they got places you can't get to from here, and you got to be there tomorrow to play.
Well, that's why when you get a player from the CBA up to the big team, you have a whole different attitude about this game, I'll tell you, because a lot of times that rejection is the first time that the athlete's ever had in his life. When he gets to the NBA, he really appreciates it. If he doesn't make it.
And then let's take that the other way now as they get the block Legler and they get out on the break. And Legler trying to finish, draws the foul. What about when they come back? You know, they get a taste of that NBA life, and now all of a sudden, you know, the 10-day contract is up and they find themselves back in the CBA.
Then what we're doing was testing their courage then and their character.
Frank Layden, thanks for the visit. It's a 6-point lead for the National. 6:28 left in the half.
Mike, good night.
Sports fans, now you can hear both sides of the story.
Why don't you play the game and stop crying, you big baby? Knock it off! Knock it off!
And get an inside look at two of your favorite sports in these fascinating new videos, The Secret NBA and The Hidden NFL 2. Both videos are free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated, the best way to get inside the action for over 20 million readers. Call this toll-free number now and let your two free videos take you into two different worlds.
Hey, Bill!
Each with their own story to tell.
That's a good one for the tape.
And neither can keep a secret.
Shut up! Shut up, man! Shut up!
Call now so you won't miss out on all the fun of your two videos, both free from Sports Illustrated. And get 54 issues of Sports Illustrated for only $1.39 an issue. Save over 52% off the cover price. For quicker delivery, use your credit card. Get your two free videos, plus all the excitement of sports in Sports Illustrated. Call now.
Jim Durham with Bill Musselman back in Oklahoma City. It's a 6-point lead for the National. But the American team is shooting 63% from the field.
They're taking the ball inside more, and they're getting more putbacks. You know, the National scored 18 points off of turnovers, where the Americans got 2 off of turnovers.
And the three-point champion on the free throw line here, Tim Legler, fouled in the act. Short with that one. He's got 2 points in the game.
Tim's a very good free throw shooter. Not often does he miss the front end of a free throw.
Hey,
Two of them.
Washington clears for the American team.
I think Tim's pressing a little bit. You know, he's noted as a scorer.
Down the lane goes Spencer.
Putbacks.
There it is. It's strong. And what's the call underneath? He walked apparently, and so the National team with a 6-point lead and 6:14 left in the half at the controls. Scott Mintz way out high, 15 to shoot. The pass to Legler tipped away, but a reach-in foul is whistled against Kevin Williams.
Kevin will really challenge Tim. Tim looked like he's trying to post up.
Legler looking for the inbounds, finds Mintz. On the drop cut, Henry Williams had it tipped away, but Shelton Jones ends up with it.
Jones got to take the ball to the basket.
Yeah,
that's how he has to score. There it is.
Strong looked away for a brief second to see where that screen was from Mintz, and Sheldon Jones burned him. Shelton Jones with 9. Nice move off that pass inside by Tompkins.
He's all left-handed. He likes the ball in the right block. He likes to turn it into that lane.
National team has been up by as many as 9 in this contest. And despite the turnovers, the hot shooting by the American Conference keeping them in it. 7 on the shot clock. Legler, and it's swatted out of there by Spencer. Now it's Williams. He hasn't looked to score often, but when he has, he's been effective.
He likes to dribble drive, get in to take a 10, 12-foot jump shot. Kevin's not a real good deep perimeter shooter. He's good off the dribble drive.
This is Henry Williams trying to turn it baseline. Finds Mintz. And the outside shot missed by Neal. There's Neal with a follow. It's blocked. Loose ball tracked down by Kevin Williams. Tompkins with the dunk. Ronnie Tompkins with 4, and all of a sudden the American team within 2. Sheldon Jones had it chopped away from him out of bounds off of his leg. It was Kevin Williams making the defensive play.
Kevin's making things happen out there. Great competitors.
Looking for the tie. Tompkins gets it done as he finds a nice bounce on the rim. Tompkins with 6 lately.
The Nationals going to have to pick up your intensity on defense. They're not getting back on defense right now.
6 straight points for the American Conference. Shot clock down to 8.
Going to have to go off the drive, take it to the basket.
Shelton Jones against Spencer. Tip missed, cleared by Strong. Washington on the push, on ahead to Williams. And the American Conference takes the lead. Kevin Williams has 9. Eight straight points for the American Conference trying to break through. They have lost 3 straight times in all-star play here in the CBA. 10 on the shot clock. Jones in the post, 6 to shoot. Henry Williams hits the 2 to tie the contest.
That's his game, Jim. Really, you know, I would like to see him play the off guard and come off of picks and be able to catch and shoot. I think one of the problems that they've had right now, the National, is that without A.J. Winder in there, you know, Williams is really an off guard. A.J.'s more, keeps the team under control much more.
Here's Washington being hounded by Henry Williams. Gets the shot away under pressure. Boy, that's a tough shot for Dwayne Washington, but he's got his first 2 in this all-star game.
Dwayne has really been playing well this year. We go off the pick and roll.
And a foul on Mintz, setting the screen for Henry Williams. Scott Mintz picks up the personal foul with 2:59 left to go before halftime. The national team, which had led by as many as 9, finds itself trailing by 2. 55-53 is the score here in Oklahoma City at the Marriott Center, where a record crowd perhaps is looking on.
Okay, I've got 30 seconds to tell you about the all-new Pax River Texaco located on Great Mills Road, so pay attention. At Pax River Texaco, they do computer-controlled engine work, exhaust, brakes, tires, and they have the best towing service in Southern Maryland. All their mechanics are certified and all work is guaranteed.
Pax River Texaco offers free brake and exhaust inspection and a lifetime warranty on most brake pads.
Pax River Texaco, conveniently located right outside the base main gate. It's not Ronnie's anymore.
Where can you find Where can you find
On the boats and on the planes, coming to America.
Where can you find
But she's always a woman to me.
You'll find it all on
The 92.7, where Southern Maryland listens.
The puck drops here. National Hockey Night on ESPN. Just when you thought you've seen it all, Detroit's Steve Yzerman shows you something new. He leads the Red Wings against the San Jose Sharks Friday night at 7:30 Eastern, live on ESPN National Hockey Night.
Well, the dream, of course, if you're a CBA player, is to move up to the show, as they say. That's the NBA, and 6 have been signed by NBA teams so far this year.
That's 6 very happy basketball players. You know, one year I coached Rod Higgins in the CBA, and Rod moved up 4 times, got cut 4 times to set a record, and every time he came back, he had the most positive attitude. I said, this guy's amazing. He's one of my all-time favorites. I said, that guy comes back, and it's like we got beat 4 times, and he comes back with his head up and ready to go.
2:38 left to go in the first half, 57-53. The American team has opened up a 4-point lead, so we've had a 13-point swing in this contest. Legler sticks the 3. Tim Legler cuts it to 1 with 2:21 remaining.
The American defense, they've got to stay up on their perimeter shooters, that national squad.
Williams got away with a walk, it looked like. Nice feed inside Jordan on the miss. And now the national team back with a crack at the lead. A.J. Winder back into the game.
I like the way Winder runs a ball club, Jim. you know, this guy's been on the fringe, and I think he could help a ball club as a backup. You know, he's not real quick, but he's smart, heady. He keeps game under control, and he executes an offense extremely well.
Matt Durham with a shot at the MVP, perhaps, in this All-Star game. 16 points working here in the first half, and a 1-point lead for the national team. Personal foul call that will get Dwayne Washington to the free throw line.
This American squad's got a dribble drive, take the ball to the basket, and hit those offensive boards. That's their game tonight. Their perimeter shooting is not nearly as well as this national.
I stand corrected. The Americans not over the limit, the foul limit, rather, the national team, so they're not in the penalty yet. And good job defensively.
Durham, good job in there.
Here's Winder. And now the national team starting to string some hoops together. A.J. Winder with 4.
Playing under control, taking the shot when it's there, getting people into their offense at other times.
Outside shot wouldn't go that time. Durham the rebound. A.J. Winder with a nice lob pass ahead to Legler. Right back on the return. Good look inside.
They've turned this game around with that last substitution, bringing Winder back in the ball game because he's a pure point guard. It made a big difference.
Shelton Jones off that dunk. He's in double figures in scoring. And now 9 straight points scored by the national team to take a 5-point lead. Less than a minute remaining. Shot clock at 10. The game clock at 46 and a half. Williams missing from out front. Jones rebounds it out to Winder. Let's see if they go 2 for 1. Won't matter. It's Durham attacking, and he'll get to the free throw line.
He loves that foul line. Off transition, take it strong to the basket.
Perfect in 6 free throw attempts in this game.
You know what? Sheldon really got up for that rebound. It's amazing how everything's back under control. I felt the national squad got out of control, and the American made a good run at him. You know, sometimes in this game, you know, it's too bad a guy like Henry Williams that, you know, that he can't just play the off guard and come off of picks, and because that's what he does well.
Right.
You don't get to see what these guys do best. It's the same thing in the NBA. A guy's got a certain strength, and you go to it and you cover his weaknesses up, and you milk what he does well.
Durham with 2 misses, but Jones collects the rebound and draws the foul. Foul on Dwayne Washington. Anyway, Shelton Jones back to that free throw line.
It's very active tonight, Jim.
Shelton Jones has 11 points in the contest. He has split a couple of free throws. There you see what he's done on the season in the CBA. Rapid City. Pretty good run here. 10 straight points for Eric Musselman's club, and now it's 11 in a row, and they open up a 7-point lead.
The American squad, they've got to get back into taking it inside. That's what they've done.
Brian Oliver there scoring. Now the shot clock at 19, about 3 difference. National team is going to spread it, play it for 1, 12 to shoot. Winder trying to get inside, took what was given him, and that was an open foul line jumper. It's Jones back to the hoop.
Good offensive rebound.
Shelton Jones with 15. Jordan all the way to the basket at the buzzer, and at halftime, it's the national team rallying from a 4-point deficit to take a 7-point halftime lead, 66-59.
He's history's most celebrated quarterback. Now he's coaching Budweiser in Bud Bowl 5. Yes, some men are born to be football legends.
Give every last drop. We're going to win it. We're Budweiser.
Of course, some men aren't.
We'll win it, because we're Bud Light. Oh.
You ever wonder how they get the strings in these things?
Bud Bowl 5. It's back. Get your ticket where you buy Bud, Bud Light, and Bud Dry. Someone will win $1 million in cash.
Did you know that stress and certain vitamin deficiencies can cause hair loss and that researchers are growing hair in a test tube? When you call Hair Club for Men, we'll send you this information along with Hair Club's own advances in dealing with hair loss.
I wanted something that looked very natural and also looked very natural when I was skiing and when my hair was very wet.
It made me feel old to be going thin at 24.
Hair Club's innovative techniques in dealing with hair loss will give you the confidence you've always wanted.
I did not ask to lose my hair. And for a long period of time, I thought that I would have no choice. And with Hair Club, I do have that choice.
No matter what sport or activity, your new hair will look and feel like your own.
Now that I have a full head of hair, people that haven't seen me in a while, they don't even know I had anything done. It's like totally natural to them.
So call Hair Club for Men and receive our free brochure, along with some tips that may help you keep the hair you have.
I'm not only the Hair Club president, but I'm also a client.